Steel City. Is everybody ready to go? Let's proclaim the greatest radio show.
Welcome, fans, to another episode of The Spread. I'm your host, Jim Sella, in studio with Jay Dash and Big Easy. Gonna talk some more Bucko baseball for you, mostly about Pedro Alvarez. The Pirates seem to have given up on the poor guy. He's, second, third best hitter in the lineup, but on the field, he's just atrocious.
Yeah, 15 errors.
I don't know. All the research you did on him got me saying, who else are they going to get now? Nobody. So why trade him?
Yeah, I mean, we went over the errors he had this season in an earlier segment, and really...
Not even that big a deal.
No, it's not even that big of a deal. And listen, man, it's people calling into radio shows. These are the fans that want Pedro out. Everyone I talk to, the Pirates fans, not Jim, obviously, because he's not a Pirates fan, but they all want to keep Pedro. No one is saying, let's get rid of Pedro that I talk to. But the Bucks, they are done with him, and they are shopping him to everyone, apparently.
Believe it.
Well,
I called this a long time ago.
I call him Pedro every once in a while, but he, who else are you going to get? We already looked. There's no one else you can get right now.
That's what I'm saying. That's my biggest point here. Is everyone everywhere is trying to push this guy out as soon as possible, but they're not talking about who they're going to bring in. I've seen some guys talking about how we should get him out, and they're like, whoever we get in the deal is good enough. Like, they are going to deal him for a first baseman. No one is going to take him at first base to give you their first baseman.
Yeah.
If you're saying your first baseman sucks so bad you're trying to give him away to anyone.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work that way. And really, ever since Ishikawa had that home run and the 4 RBIs in that one game, everyone's saying, oh, Ishikawa should start at first base, Pedro's done. And then you see Ishikawa is still garbage. He hits like 170 or something.
Ishikawa's garbage.
Wait.
He should never start over Pedro at first base.
No.
I don't care if Pedro boots the ball every once in a while.
Well, listen,
Seriously, I'm sick of it.
Hurdle, I like what Hurdle did. Everyone's saying Ishikawa got to start at first base, got to get rid of Pedro. Well, Hurdle just threw Pedro out there the past 2 games. Pedro goes out and hits 2 home runs.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I wanted to see.
So what you're saying is we can't just give everybody all our bad players for all their good players? That's not how it works?
Yeah, it doesn't
trades?
work like that. Well,
Why not? That's
it's
how
not
it works
even
on
that.
Madden. You just put 3 80s together and you get 199. That's how it should go, right?
I mean, I'm just saying you can't sit here and say your player cannot play first base. No matter what he does with the bat, it doesn't matter. He can't play first base. So give us your first baseman for him. Oh,
yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. But anyways, in that Ishikawa game where he had a home run and 4 RBIs, Pedro had 2 RBIs in that game, but he did K with the bases loaded. And that's all people talked about after that game was how he K'd with the bases loaded. So I go and look. He's 3 for 9 with a team-leading 7 RBIs with the bases loaded this season.
There you go.
I go look. Kutch,
Pull these
1 for
stats out.
6, has 2 Ks. Marte, 1 for 3, has a K.
Yeah.
Walker, 1 for 4, has 2 Ks. Everyone Ks with the bases loaded. It happens.
Yeah.
This dude is producing more than anyone with the bases loaded on this team.
Speak on it.
So I'm just, look.
Pedro.
The way to improve
did
first
K.
base this year is to find a right-handed platoon player that can hit lefties and let him platoon with Pedro and leave Pedro in the lineup.
And you can put Rodriguez in the 9th inning if you want. I don't care.
Not Ishikawa. The dude, we got rid of him last year, and then he had a good playoff with the Giants, and now the Pirates are like, oh, let's get him because maybe he'll have a good playoffs. F that. Just get rid of that dude.
Well, here, let me give you some more Pedro stats. His 14 home runs leads the team. Obviously has the most home runs per at-bat. His 47 RBIs is 3rd on the team, but it's 2nd most RBIs per at-bat. His 28 extra base hits, 2nd most per at-bat on the team. Behind only Andrew McCutchen in these categories. I don't see the problem with him at the plate. Look, he's hitting in the 230s. That's what he does every season.
All right, so the Pirate management front office, they're garbage.
They're trying to push him out.
It's been a misinformation campaign. I said this last year. The Pirates started doing this with their fans.
They don't see these
when
numbers?
they push Pedro out, the fans are still on the Pirates' side. And Dash, me and you have argued about this a little bit.
We don't think it's disguised.
Because you think that it drives his value down in trades. But the Pirates aren't bashing Pedro to other organizations. They're just letting their beat writers talked negatively about Pedro for so long now that it's turned Pirate fans against the guy. So now everybody's like, yeah, he's garbage, because they're too stupid to actually look up the real stats. They just want to say he's garbage because it's easier. Although I am on record of saying they should get rid of him after this year.
I don't believe that, because they wouldn't be saying Josh Bell is garbage at first base too. That just doesn't make any sense. You're not trying to say your
because the
future
Pirates don't want to
replacement
move Bell. The Pirates want to move Pedro, and they want the fans behind the move. If
But
the
they're saying the
fans-
same
love
thing
it
about
about the
Bell as
fans.
they're saying about Pedro.
I'm just hearing reporters say Bell's not good. I don't hear them blasting him the way that Pedro's doing. When I hear them talk about Bell, it's more of a developmental thing. When you hear them talk about Pedro, he
From
has
what I
no
heard, they're
shot.
about done with Bell at first base. And I've been saying this. You can't let a guy play 80-some games at first base and decide their career at the position. It's the same thing with Bell. And now people want to move Ramirez to first base. It's not going to work out in the end. You have to give these guys some time at first base. And I just disagree. Yeah, I don't get into that conspiracy stuff with the Pirates or whatever you were saying. But, yeah, now they are trying to move him. And, look, one last stat. He is at exactly half the at-bats he had in the season where he had 100 RBIs. Exactly half the at-bats. So he has 47 RBIs right now. If you gave him the at-bats, he'd be on pace for 94 RBIs.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Keep hitting them deep, Pedro.
I hear you. And then, like you said, nobody's really talking about who they want to bring in to replace him. Everyone mentions Adam Lynn a little bit here and there, but they really don't expect him to come in and be the replacement. They're not trying to push for that or anything. Travis Sawchek of the Tribune Review mentioned about getting rid of Pedro and who could be replacements for him. He mentioned Chris Parmelee. This guy is hitting .222 this year with 4 home runs and 9 RBIs and 90 at-bats. Has a .255 on-base percentage.
Kidding me?
And then he says, or they could get sneaky, crafty, something like that, a word like that, and go for John Singleton, make a 3-team deal and bring in John Singleton, a 23-year-old. He is a prospect for the Houston Astros, a lefty. He's hitting 171 this season in 41 at-bats with 0 home runs. In his career, he has 351 at-bats, hitting 168 with a 285 on-base percentage, although he does have 13 home runs. He's like,
So let's
he's
bring him
sort of
in.
like Pedro, only worse.
Yeah.
He either Ks or he's going to maybe hit an extra base hit for you every once in a while.
Bring him in, throw him on first base in AAA, tell everyone he's the best. Then when he starts and he's garbage, trade him.
Then there's one other guy that's name's coming up, and it's Mike Napoli. 11 home runs in 291 at-bats.
That dude's busted.
Less than Pedro. He has 33 RBIs and 32 runs, so he's not producing like Pedro. Has a 206 average, less than Pedro, a 301 on base. This guy's terrible, man.
It's a joke.
It is.
If I hear one more person say that we should package a deal with Polanco, Pedro, and somebody else for Goldschmidt, I'm going to blow their head off. The Diamondbacks are not going to trade Goldschmidt if the best thing they're getting in return is a right fielder. They would have no first baseman, and if we think Pedro's garbage, they're not going to want to put Pedro at first base. It just
Exactly.
doesn't make sense. Goldschmidt's like the best first baseman in the league.
Yeah.
Definitely in the NL. So,
That's not
no,
gonna work.
it's not going to happen.
Yeah, no chance Goldschmidt's going to be dealt by the Arizona Diamondbacks to anyone. And really, there isn't a great first baseman out there. Like I said, Adam Lynn's the best option, and he doesn't hit lefties very well, as you were saying earlier, Jim. There's nothing out there. And the way Pedro's hitting the ball, I mean, everyone says he's hitting like garbage, but he's most of his numbers are right on with his career average, and he's hitting more doubles than he ever has before. His RBIs are still there. I mean, he's doing everything he has been doing over the past, well, I guess not last year, because he was pretty bad last year at third and couldn't. I mean, I understand not being able to play him at third base last season because it was getting a little ridiculous with those throws. It was 2 or 3 a game he couldn't get over there. So that's a little different. But even last year, I mean, his bat was there if you gave him the playing time, but he just couldn't handle third base. And if you're not going to play this guy at first base anymore, I would have gave him a shot at third before I was done with him. But now that they brought Ramirez in, that has gone out the window as well. I mean, who knows? Maybe his throwing errors are over with. He only has 2 throwing errors this season.
Pirates organization is just done with them.
Yeah, they are.
Worn out.
It seems like they're done, and you can't come out and bash a guy for a week and then not deal him. So it looks like he is going to be dealt, and I'm afraid because there is no first baseman that they're going to bring in. Everybody's ready to push him out. Nobody's talking about anybody to replace him besides Travis frickin' Ishikawa.
They bring Ike Davis. They trade Pedro and bring Ike Davis back. I'm done with them. I'm done with the whole team. I'm done. I'll make it known.
And a lot of people are saying these home runs he hit the past couple days are going to increase his value. Listen, the way the Pirates are bashing him, why would a team give you anything for him? You can't come out and say the guy is terrible on defense, say he's not hitting well enough, even though he is hitting well enough. If you're telling teams he's not a good hitter, not that he's going directly to these teams and saying this guy can't hit, but they're saying it everywhere else. So
well, it's the beat writers saying it. It's not the Pirates themselves. So in negotiating, then they didn't, with other teams.
Well, the Pirates have come out and
beat
started
writers.
talking crap
Exactly.
on Pedro the past week, though. The front office has been talking down on Pedro the past week. That's why everyone knows they are done with him. But the Pirate fans, they're going to be sorely disappointed when this guy goes to another team and he keeps hitting home runs and we have nothing at first base.
Yeah.
And they fall off, maybe make the wild card game and lose in the wild card game or something. Who knows?
That's it.
Pedro, or maybe they'll make the World Series and Pedro will be on an American League team and blast 4 home runs against them.
That's it. You heard it here. We deal Pedro. We're going to lose in that wild card game.
Well, they got a lot better chance at dealing him to an AL team than an NL team right now, just because everybody's so low on his defense.
You know what? They had an offer from the Marlins at the beginning of the season. The Marlins wanted to bring him over before they brought in Martin Prado, so probably to play third base, give him another shot at third base, and they were going to give up Nate Eovaldi for him, who I'm not huge on, but the Yankees ended up getting him, and he's a decent pitcher. He'd be a great number 4 pitcher on this team. So if you were never going to give him the time to progress at first base in the first place, you should have just made that deal then and have a decent pitcher.
Well, back to the Pirates
Fans didn't hate him
garbage.
Fans didn't hate him until they
garbage,
started
fucking-
spreading more of that misinformation.
I don't know, man. It's just too much. I don't see enough gain from it, but apparently you do, and other people do too. I know a lot of people believe that misinformation stuff, and I mean, I see it in a way, but I just don't see enough of a gain, because if you're hating on a team, I mean, it affects immediately too. It affects the fans immediately, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Like, if you're saying, oh, we can't win with this first baseman, well, why would I come and watch you play then? If you're not gonna have a first baseman that you can win with, if you tell me you can't win with this first baseman, why
Because
would I
then
come
now,
watch you play with this first baseman?
When they move him, everybody's going to be like, we're trying to win because they said they couldn't win with this guy and we got this new guy, even though the new guy's probably going to be worse than the first guy.
Yeah, I don't think people stupid enough to actually think whoever they bring in is going to be better than Pedro.
Everybody thinks anybody's going to be
Listen,
better.
man, when they bring this guy in, they're going to look up at that big screen and see 206 average from this guy with less home runs
And
than
he's gonna
Pedro,
get
and they're going to be
cheered.
like, wait a minute, what are we doing?
He's going to get cheered. There's going to be a standing ovation for whoever replaces Pedro.
No.
I guarantee you in their
No.
first at bat.
There's a hidden. Pedro's got more supporters than you think.
Yeah, the real Pirate fans, man, they don't want him gone. It's not. It's
I
those,
joke
it's
around.
the outspoken Pirate fans
Yeah.
that go on the radio. Those are the ones that want him gone.
I joke around, but they ain't getting nothing better for him this year, so keep him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying sign this guy to a long-term deal after the season or anything. I'm just saying this is our best option right now. And he's one of our best freaking hitters right now.
Preach.
But that's it. I didn't even want this segment to go on this long. I'm just warning people. You're going to be disappointed when he's gone. If they don't, I mean, you can't. I'm not saying you can't upgrade him, because he can be upgraded. But for what's available right now, it's not going to happen. And you're going to be asking yourself, why did they deal Pedro?
Why?
Ike Davis, why?
Well, that's it. Thank you guys for coming in. Thank you, fans, for listening. Fans, you can follow us on Twitter at bet_the_spread. You can follow me on Twitter at betjimthewin. Check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/betthespread. Go to our website at thespreadnews.simplesite.com. Keep checking out our YouTube page. Click subscribe and click thumbs up. We love it.